I want you to see, I want you to ask yourself, if they stop this project that is ongoing right here, where will these people go? And what we are telling the judiciary, we are not actually telling them what to do. We are telling them to apply what we call public good and public interest when they are giving their court orders. Because if you can stop such a project just because one person goes to court and says that he's aggrieved by what is happening, and you issue a court order to stop such a project. Did you listen to Bamamboga here, who is selling food to these people, 1,000 people? Did you listen to the people who have been employed here, who will have now money to take their kids to school in January, who will have some money to pay for the medication of their children, yet the same judiciary has stopped the universal health care? The same people are getting some money to have food on the table. The same people have some money to pay their rent. Yet you stop such a government project that we told the people that once you elect us, we are going to give you affordable housing, we are going to give you universal health. Or we are telling the judiciary, do not be used by a few individuals by stopping public development or by stopping development that is taken by the government. And we're telling them, when you're issuing those court orders, use what we call public interest and public goods. And when you're doing that, use parameters like constitutional values. This government of ours was given mandate by the people to provide affordable housing to the people. So when you give a court order saying that we do not provide shelter to the people, are you promoting slums? Are you promoting that people stay in the streets? So what we are saying is that we are going, this conversation has already started and we are happy about it. I have already instructed the officers at the Senate that we are going to amend the JSC Act so that we can introduce what we call policy courts. Just like we have the commercial courts, just like we have the employment courts. Any issue that emanates from the government, that anybody wants to take it to court, it should not just go to any court. It should go to a policy court. And that court will have to listen to that case within a certain timeline of about 30 days. Because we have a mandate for 5 years. A mandate that the people gave us to bring development to them. You know? So if a judge can give a date, say I'm going to listen to this case after 7 years, what will I tell my people when I go home when they elected me? So we have to say anybody, because we are not telling people not to go to court, but if you go to court to challenge anything that emanates from parliament, anything that emanates from the national government, it must be taken to the policy court so that it can be expedited very fast and within the timeline that we are going to pass, which is about 30 days, all the way from the court, all the way to the Supreme Court, so that we do it very fast and bring development to this nation.
Who are these people fighting the project?
Before I get to that point, within my amendment, we are also going to amend the JSC Judicial Service Commission to have more people. It has 9 members, and 7 of them are judicial officers. All right? So how can somebody be injecting the government every other minute, then we leave them to oversight themselves? We need to include more people into that Judicial Service Commission so that we do not just give them the leeway to inject and then they oversight themselves. Because we have to work together as the 3 arms of government. You know, the courts, they do not implement their court orders. They rely on the executive. They rely on government to execute their court orders. So if you bring down this administration by not letting it work, who is going to implement your court orders? Because it is very funny, and this is why I'm saying this. When they're giving these court orders Are they listening to the public input, the public participation, which is a constitutional right? Do you know what you are doing here today, according to, to a court order that was issued, is illegal to the judiciary? Because you are talking about the national housing. And yet they say there should be no public participation. What is public participation? It is information, talking about it, accessing information. So even according to the courts, what you are doing now is illegal. So what you are telling them, do not stop Christmas. Just because somebody says does not believe in Christmas, you issue an order. No, let Christmas go on, and then we deal with the others later.